you're struggling with back pain in an athlete, a lot of it's because of this extension compression strategy. So we have a couple different YouTube videos, part 1 and part 2, that address a passive way to reflexively inhibit these muscles, and then we're going to breathe into it and kind of activate the other stabilizing structures. And I think a lot of times this provides temporary relief for athletes, but they never quite understand the differentiation between their lower back and their pelvis. And I think a good way to kind of feel that is in a similar position as the exercise. So if we get into this position like we do in the extension compression strategy videos, where we're in neutral, our spine is very flat, we kind of breathe into our belly, that's helpful for people to start to grasp the concept of why we have so much tension and tightness in an athletic population in our erector spinae muscles. We over-recruit them and we don't use the other muscles to kind of support it. And this is super effective, but I think the next step is if we take a band and kind of place it around the lower back, then we can kind of go from this position and kind of sit back here, and then we're actually feeling it in the other direction. And if we kind of let ourselves go dramatically into that hyperextension in the lumbar spine, this is the provocative maneuver that a lot of athletes kind of spend too much time in, then we can kind of get them to almost tuck that pelvis underneath, and it's going to feel like they're rounding their back. But a lot of that rounding, if you come upright, you notice it's not rounded. It just feels that way because we're so dumped out the other way. So I think this is a good way for athletes to kind of feel the orientation between their rib cage and their pelvis, to get into that stacked position rather than kind of that open scissors where the rib cage is flaring and the pelvis is in an anterior pelvic tilt. So I like this exercise to kind of train that position, whether you're going into a squat or playing a sport, to kind of get out of that extension compression strategy and really understand the relationship between rib cage and pelvis, and how the lower back or the lumbar spine is just along for the ride.